Well, with plummeting poll numbers, Biden is trying to win back favor, and it comes in the form of a new campaign ad that's supposed to highlight his amazing leadership. Let's take a look.
He entered Ukraine under the cover of night, and in the morning, Joe Biden walked shoulder to shoulder with our allies in the war-torn streets, standing up for democracy in a place where a tyrant is waging war to take it away.
You know, it's fascinating how the Biden administration's best efforts to portray him as a strong leader, fighting for the American people, is to show him parading around another country that we've spent billions and sent billions of dollars to, instead of focusing on fixing our own broken economy. Well, joining us now to discuss all this and much more, the president of Project Sentinel, Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer, and Air Force Special Operations Commander Major Glenn Ignazio. Gentlemen, thank you both for being here.
Hey,
I want to start with you. Tony. I want to get your take on Biden's latest campaign. And does the administration really believe this is the way to win over the American people?
Well, apparently they do. It's completely tone deaf. He should have flown into Palestine, Ohio in the middle of the night and walked the streets with the people there. That would have been impressive. And let's break this down, Todd. Tony Blinken just announced another $1 billion for Ukraine, $300 million of that for their internal police forces. Well, geez, I know for a fact the people of Hawaii are suffering, and they're getting $700 a family. Are you kidding me? So this portrayal of Biden as a strong leader in a foreign country, to your point, when we have domestic issues which are clearly being ignored because apparently for some reason he does not wish to actually build good relations with the blue folks in Hawaii, it's a very blue state, or the red folks in Ohio. I don't get it because clearly, Todd, he's not focused on helping the people. Nobody's trying to support Russia here. All I'm saying is if you're trying to win the war in Russia, against Russia, you need to actually do things which are effective. But at the same time, you cannot neglect domestic politics, and that's what Joe Biden is doing.
And, you know, Major Ignazio, looking at Ukraine, Biden spending billions of dollars to secure their border. Meanwhile, our own border has been overrun. Let's talk about the optics of that.
Yeah, it's horrific. And I got to build a little bit on what Tony said. You know, $1 billion today going to Ukraine. If you took every member, every citizen of Maui and give them the $700 that, Tony was absolutely right on, that's only $116 million. So $116 million for U.S. citizens and $1 billion today. And honestly, I don't even know what the total is for Ukraine for the entire packages now. It just shows that there's a lack of focus on the United States. And the same thing with the border. I think we're doing more money, more focus, and more effort in protecting the borders of Ukraine than the United States. Hey, look, I support Ukraine. I've been over there. I get it. But exactly what I have to say, what Tony says is we're not focusing on the domestic issues here. And without a strong country, there is no way for us to help anybody else if we're not helping ourselves. Clean and clear.
By the way, bizarre story involving Elon Musk. He's under fire after he refused a request from Ukraine to sink Russia's fleet. Musk said on X last night there was an emergency request from government authorities to activate Starlink all the way to Sevastopol. The obvious intent being to sink most of the Russian fleet at anchor. If I had agreed to their request, then SpaceX would be explicitly complicit in a major act of war and conflict escalation. Colonel Shaffer, certainly looks like Elon may have avoided World War III there.
I agree. And look, Musk has the right to run his company the way he wishes. This is both a First Amendment right as well as one which is in our interest to not basically escalate a war to a level no one will win, and we're not prepared to fight. So kudos for him. Look, Musk jumped in, Todd, to help the people of Ukraine, which I've talked about with you and other members of the network here. The people of Ukraine are the ones caught in the middle of this. Musk tried to help them by reestablishing internet and communication services. God bless him for doing that. But the moment the Ukrainian government wants to go a bridge too far and use it for offensive purposes, and in a way that may have even gotten all of us into a major war, I agree with Musk on this. I think he made the right call.
And Major, again, for you, I want you to jump in here. It really shouldn't be all that surprising. I mean, this is administration that's actually telling social media companies what to post and what not to post.
Yeah, I agree. I think Elon made the best decision about doing this. And like I said, he focused on the defensive posture and position of Ukraine. And honestly, when I was over there doing humanitarian aid, and my teammates that are still there are using Starlink for protecting and helping out that country. Offensive, it changes the whole game, and it also changes the narrative. So he is a civilian corporation. He has stockholders to report to, and he did the right thing. And I think a lot of social media companies that are tuning their particular narrative based on government influence, either from Ukraine or from ourselves, is wrong. It should be out there with the straight information and the straight story, which is what you guys do. And I wish we had more people doing that.
All right. Well, thank you, Colonel Schaefer and Major Ignacio. We both appreciate you very much. And still ahead, Out of Touch View host Joy Behar can't seem to wrap her head around why the American people are not happy with the state of the economy. We're going to show you what she said